Okay, so I was wondering how long would it be before Miss Connie jumped into being Miss Connie? Okay. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Young, Famous, and African. This is season 2. This is episode 2. As I was saying, I was wondering how long it was going to take before Miss Connie jumped into being Miss Connie. Miss Connie, girl, your subjects are running amok. And what is it that you're going to do to stir the pot while making them believe that you are trying to rally them in and fix their issues? How long is it going to be before you give us a show, Miss Connie? Miss Connie said, James, episode 2. So listen, that's what it gives. But this cast of folks, they cutting up. They got no shortage, as I said, of drama at all. Let me just throw some of this out here, okay? Um, this is the thing with their episodes, though. Their episodes are so to the point. Sometimes so much so that you feel like you missed something. They jump into a subject and then they're out of it. It's just so to the point. Anyway, um, listen, Diamond got a thing for Fontana. He got a thing for her. Um, the men, you know, the way they talk to these women, sometimes it makes me cringe. He literally now the first time that they're getting together, she comes to his studio, and this is really the first time they spent time alone with one another. He's talking about making her squirt, huh? So I'm like, okay, so Fontana, she basically prides herself on being just like him. She bout it. She in it for what it is. She ain't trying to get emotionally attached. I think that's bullcrap. I think she's out here playing big girl games and gonna get sucked up. Gonna get sucked up, you know. But listen, later on in the program, Swanky sat with her and he not trying to live it for her, but trying to protect her. He warned her about Diamond. He did. He warned her about Diamond. Um, hey, it's really on you. She basically let him know that she got it. She got it. She got this. Like, okay, girl, whatever. Whatever you say, baby. Whatever you say. Um, when it comes to the whole Zari and Diamond thing, she wants all the smoke from Zari, is what it sounds like. I'm like, how you jumping in this like this? But again, remember, he's Diamond. He got money. He has prestige. He has a name. She's trying to pretend like, oh no, none of that matters. Girl, you are a uprising star yourself. Um, you would love to make him your him Jay-Z to your Beyonce. You know, let's just be honest. But don't mess around here and fall on your face. I think you're moving too fast. I think you got too much going on, and you are definitely underestimating Miss Zari. But anyway, we're gonna see how it play out. Nadia and Connie get together, and Connie introduces us to a new character. And baby, I don't know how much of him I could take. I really don't. I don't know how much of him I could take. This child is so corny. He is so corny. I looked at him, I said, beautiful skin, a bit much, a bit zesty, a bit, he's just a bit much in general. His name is Luis Bonani. And he is basically, he's a fashion boy. He has his own fashion brand. Um, I think he suffers delusions of grandeur. Um, he's a big star in his eyes. Okay, so at any rate, that's Louis Sonny. But we find out that Swank in that conversation with Carney and Nadia, that Swanky is actually upset with um the way that Nadia and Connie basically he feels shaded Bonang at the party, at Diamond's party, and when they got up and left. He didn't like it. He thought it was rude. Remember, she was his guest and all of that. We also found out Annie is gone. Annie is not even there. Annie then went back to Nigeria. She went back to Nigeria. Um, here it was to Baba Independence had literally there's tea out that he got another baby on the way. So she done went home, and in the midst of all of it, we see Annie doing what Annie does best, deflecting, deflecting, and saying that it isn't so. Of course, she's standing right behind her husband. Um, he basically is, oh, everybody's telling, they're just creating stories on me, and Annie is all in, and people are getting a little tired of Annie, and very much giving her, girl, here you go, honey. We ain't trying to hear what you got to say, Miss Day. You are stupid. You are a stupid woman. So it's very much that. But I'm just listening to her. But she's standing behind her man. But she didn't even tell anybody she was gone. She just had them rolled out. And of course, Connie had an attitude about it because Connie thinks that Annie's supposed to check in with her. Connie thinks everybody's supposed to check in with her. But anyway, like I said, we are introducing this scene to Luis. This was the first time that Nadia actually made his acquaintance, so she thought. In the midst of their conversation, she finds out they actually had met in the past. They had met before, where they met on the set of a music video. When I tell you she cracked his, how Nadia is. Nadia cracked Luis's face. And I knew then that Luis was a clown, a whole clown. She gave him very much of, wait a minute. So somebody is bringing you up to speed and making you remember a situation because in that moment they weren't important. That's what I said. He wasn't important in that moment. He was an extra. And that's how she framed it. When I tell you that thing's face was cracked, honey, his face was so cracked. He was like, they gave him a confessional. He said, I'm nobody's extra. Oh, but you were. But you were an extra. See, I learned right away, Mr. Luis is only a legend in his own mind. So I was sitting there screaming. I said, okay, come on through, Miss Nadia. We also found out he has issues with Diamond. They share an ex in common. I said, what? They share an ex in common. I said, okay. So at any rate, in that same conversation, we found out Connie's going to give a party. Connie's going to have a little party, bring everybody together. And she basically wants to get everybody to remove their masks and get everything out into the open and squash all of this mess that they got going on amongst themselves. Okay. So enough of that, because by this time, when I tell you Luis said done got on my nerves, a little bit of Luis goes a long way. Okay. Andile and Diamond got together and had a conversation. Andile, you starting to work my nerves. You starting to work my nerves. It is what it is. It is what it is. There is a bro code. I don't care if you're African, if you're American, if you're Nigerian. Listen, just people in general. People who are close friends don't need to be dating each other's exes and shit. It is just a mess. And no matter what culture you're in, It is messy boots. The shit is messy. The shit it gets to be like a love triangle, especially when there are children involved, because people who have children together are basically joined at the hip for the rest of their lives, no matter whether they want to be or not. So this whole thing of you trying to date Zari, but feeling as though you and Diamond are going to be cool. You're crazy. You're not never going to be cool. And the thing with Zari and Diamond is whenever they are in each other's presence, in you all's presence, they are a couple. Now you could call it whatever you want to call it. They could frame it any way they want to frame it. Them two bastards are a couple. Period. They move like one, they act like one, they treat each other like one, and all of that. And for you to want to date Zari is out of order. It's out of order. You gonna pay it on the front end or you gonna pay it on the back end, bro. You do what you want to do. She may just be the woman for you, but you gonna pay it on the front end or the back end. You and him are not gonna walk around calling yourself brothers and you screwing his baby's mama. It just ain't going. Because at the end of the day, he's still screwing his baby's mama. Anybody can say anything they want. They still screw. They still do. When people who used to screw get together, guess what they do? What they used to do. Try. Anyway, so Andile sat up there and had this whole conversation with Diamond, and I'm looking at Diamond like, Diamond, you better than me, because I think at some point I probably would have pistol whipped him. He literally used. Otis was a mess. You used Diamond's own words against him. The bro code, really? You basically used against him that he's a player and he ain't really serious about women and he don't treat women real well. You use that against him to justify you messing around with his baby mama. Yet still smiling and grinning in his face, wanting to be friends. Gave yourself the upper hand like you ain't did nothing and you ain't in the wrong, that he in the wrong for feeling the way he feel. But you going to try to make it like, oh, well, I'll sacrifice my feelings so that you don't feel away. Excuse me. I saw Andile, I see you, child. And Diamond's better than me. Or is he? See, because I think this is just going to continue to build and build and build until at some point you're going to make Diamond pistol whip you. Anyway, moving on. And just goes right along with what I was saying. When we get to Connie's party, as soon as Diamond walks in, he had actually seen Andile. Andile's in there playing the game with Zari. Zari, again, wants all the smoke. Zari basically tells him it is what it is, with her and Diamond. And Diamond ain't going nowhere. That she feels safe with him. She gonna explain away the ridiculousness of their relationship to Andile, because Andile playing her like, well, I'm just gonna step away. And she's like, well, wait a minute. Because she likes the drama of it all. It's her get back. Andile is really her lick back for all the shit that Diamond does that she can't control. But yeah, all this is going on, and they're just sitting there talking, and they're like, okay, we got issues. Swanky even told them, now y'all be in here talking. Oh, come on. This look kind of crazy. Y'all gotta chill. DJ Naked saying something to them, honey. When I tell you, Zari got mad, honey. Like, I can do what I want. I can talk to who I want. This, that, thing, the other. I said, oh my. Sure enough, as soon as Diamond came in to see him, Diamond was pissed off because he was supposed to be cool after he had his conversation with Andile. Child, once soon as he seen them up in each other's face, he was mad all over again. Like I said, at some point, it's going to reach a boiling point. It's going to be some liquor involved, and he can mess around and pistol whip him. Anyway, then Annie pops up at the party because Annie's back now. She done popped up, and Connie is pissed. Connie's pissed. She's like, wait a minute. How are you gonna pop back up? I said she left Nigeria and then she came back to Nigeria. She come back, she pops up in Nigeria and ain't told Connie. Connie pissed all over again. You pissed because she left. Now you pissed because she came back and didn't tell you. A mess. Luis comes in there. Like I said, Luis is a clown. Luis is in there trying to make this moment, have this moment. He didn't do things the way that Connie said to do. She was going to basically use him as a throw off. Once all the shit gets started, then she going to introduce him into the group to kind of throw the dynamic off if it get too out of order. But he's so busy trying to be sane, he done jumped his punk ass out there and just looking like a clown. Diamond sees him, and Diamond busted down and say, Diamond said, Lord have mercy. As soon as he see him, he started laughing. I'm like, why Diamond laughing? Child, when I tell you that daggone Diamond said, now, yeah, he dated my ex. And in the midst of him dating my ex trying to do me, his best friend took his girlfriend at the same time, and people ended up laughing at him. I said, oh, Lord. I said, see, I told y'all Luis was a clown. So Connie fashion, which was what I was waiting on. What is Connie going to do to stir all of this? When I tell you that Connie literally took the two biggest issues that there was and just called them out. But, and only the way that Connie could do it. She just straight up offended them. She literally took and said, Andile, fuck you. Diamond, fuck you. Annie, fuck you. And Swanky, fuck you. It's like, what? And it's like, what is she talking about? Like, you all got these issues. Y'all ain't telling that's exactly what it is. Y'all ain't really fixing it. Y'all sitting around here with attitudes. Y'all wearing these masks. Fuck y'all. I said, oh. So, baby, when I tell you that's where that episode ended out, and literally, Delay was pissed. He was pissed. The other ones was kind of like, why is she talking to us like that? Of course, Annie always is offended. But Delay was like, no. Not talking to me like this. What are you giving? And he was hot with Miss Connie. He was like, talking to me like that. But she shocked the room. That's what Connie does. She stirred it. She stirred the pot to where everybody got upset. And it was like, okay, now I got them in their feelings. Now let's get it all out. She is just a manipulator, period. And I was waiting to see how long it was going to take before Connie did something of this nature. And like I said, Miss Connie tapped me on my shoulder and said, hey, James, episode number 2. Anyway, all right, you all, keep watching, baby. Young, Famous, and African, season 2. This has been episode 2 over on Netflix. Y'all know the whole season is there. You can watch it at your leisure. All the episodes are actually there. I'm basically kind of just watching them one by one and doing my little reviews and just taking my time with it, because they don't usually have a whole bunch of episodes. I'm taking my time with it, baby, and enjoying them. Listen, you always know the clothing and things are going to be right. Everything is it's a very pretty picture always. Baby, they be ragging up on here. And that's the other thing. Luis, let me just say this to you, brother. You will never be popular in this circle, because as long as there's a swanky, there's no room for Luis, baby. You don't want a day of swanky when it comes to styling, fashion, or anything of that sort. Likability, the being in that friend circle, baby. Long as there's a swanky, there will never be a Luis. So, take that and do what you will with it. Anyway, I'll see y'all in the next episode. Later.